Sorry it took so long for me to post this. It's been a late night, and I'm also not feeling very well. I got super sick over the last like 24 hours. I just feel significantly worse. Just got a bad cold, so you know, peaks of dorm life, I guess. But I did not trade today. Didn't really see a whole lot of a reason to trade. This was our 8 a.m. candle, and the best you could do was draw this out as a order block and then count this move above it. But this move above it didn't happen till like the last third of New York AM session, so I wasn't really interested after that. We retraced into nothing that I was particularly interested in for today. So Fridays I don't typically like force a trade or anything. I don't feel super comfortable trading Fridays or anything like that. I just feel like there's not typically a whole lot of price action that happens, and we're at all-time highs, so it's hard to call on old levels that don't exist. So there's like no levels back here in all of history, so there's nothing to really pull on. So that was kind of it for me today. We ended up being like negative 300 for the week, I think. Yeah, negative 300. This yesterday's trade was the only trade I took this week, so that was about it. But I figured I'd go over this week's trades. I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of the arrows so that I get a better idea of what I'm looking at. Starting Monday. Monday was that trade that I missed that was super sweet. It looked like this. We were on the 1 hour, we had an order block, and then we had these levels out. Oh god, it's gonna take me a second to scroll, holy hell. God, remind me to never do this again. Oh, it's not gonna load the 15-second. Of course it's not. What a joke. Okay, here we are. All right, so the best that we had is we moved above this. We moved above the order block, and then we came back down, retracing into it. And then the only proper entry in here, which I can talk about at some other point, would have been this change in state of delivery. This was your ideal entry, and then taking that to the new week opening gap. That was our ideal trade. I spent a lot of my time. The reason like this video didn't get out sooner was because I spent a lot of my time earlier today back testing some ideas for uh for how to mark out some trades, because I mean it uses the same concepts that I've been using. I was trying to looking at it a different way, and so it took me a long time earlier. But then Wednesday, we had this really good trade into an hourly order block, which I think was this high right down here, which we barely bumped into. It came down to an order block, but I didn't feel like entering because it was right before open. And I think it's sketchy to enter right before open. So that was that. And then Wednesday, there was nothing that was particularly interesting. Yesterday, the morning session was not particularly good, and the afternoon session was good, but I traded it wrong. So and then today no trades. So that kind of goes through it for the week. I think one thing that I haven't tried this yet, but I was trying it during back testing for like a day like this, like Thursday. If we pull the bar replay back to here and we just focus on this AM session right in here, our time frames earlier in the morning were bearish because we had bearish market structure shifts here in the morning, and then we ended up reversing. So one thing I was thinking about was technically it should respect 4 hour levels if that's the case. We're at all-time highs, so maybe, just maybe, we'll move up. We've broken these highs and these highs, and I figured we'd focus on these highs. And there's an order block right here on the 4 hour. It's just this right here. And so you can take this and put it over. And I just have octant levels on this right now. But I was looking at this because if the 1 hour isn't marking up with the daily and 4 hour, the 1 hour seems to likely shift typically at some point in the day. And you want to see it respect these top two quadrants. We come down to this octant level between the 0.75 being separating the top two quadrants and the C in the mean reversion of the order block, this octant level right here. And we respect it really nicely, and we get this change in state of delivery right here. Technically, this wick right here would be a change in state of delivery, but um, either one works. Yeah. So that's kind of what I was spending a lot of my time earlier on. Was I was taking these octane levels of these high time frame order blocks, and I was looking at, well, if the 1 hour doesn't line up, but we know the trend is likely daily bullish and 4 hour bullish, which a lot of these have been. The 1 hour will turn bearish earlier in the morning just for a morning reversal, which will make the 1 hour bullish again to match up with the 4 hour and daily for the afternoon session. So I was messing around with that. Obviously, the 4 hour did not match Monday, but there was a new week opening gap, and those always get filled 100% of the time. So I was confident in trading that. But yeah, I was looking at this. There's a really nice retrace right here, respects it perfectly. We get that chain and state of delivery, and then we get SMTs throughout here as well, and it hits this octant level right here, beautifully respecting it right there. So I guess I guess it's just something I'm going to take note of, and I will look at applying into my trades coming into this next week. It's definitely very interesting markets right now, especially between the like quote unquote kind of less. I don't want to call it peace deal. There's like a less conflict deal in the Middle East between Lebanon and Israel, and then Iran and the U.S. are like they have like opened the Strait of Hormuz like quote unquote fully as long as that peace deal holds. And so I don't know, it's kind of a thing. But gold was bumping this morning. Um Gold was cooking. Looks like it did not cook by the end of the day. It kind of got crushed, but this morning it was doing really well. And then Bitcoin looks like it's doing well. But oil is getting crushed. We are now all to the downside, and we have started retracing. Jesus, voice cracks. Oh boy. Um, oh, that's why I was still in bar replay. I'm still trying to figure out why that was confusing. But yeah, we are retracing this huge move that we had since the war opened up, and gold is doing better today. I was like, I don't know why it says that. And crypto, Bitcoin's booming, which is good. Yeah, so that was actually I do want to look at the US dollar before we close out for the week. Because one thing that I was looking at, I think it was on the monthly, was yeah, we had retraced, took out this buy side liquidity, didn't end up closing above it, respected the high, and now we're retracing back down. We'll see if we either respect this order block or end up continuing down, so to take out these lows down here. So I think that's really my view for the moment. I'm bearish on the US dollar. Gold, I'd like to be bullish on, but I don't really have enough context for it. I don't have enough experience trading gold. Follow whatever ICT says. But I think it was a really good week. I think like one of the things that I was definitely very proud about this week is I didn't spend a whole lot of time like forcing myself into trades over the week. It was more of like I would find really good setups and then I would trade them or I wouldn't, and there would be like something barely off about what I did that I where I didn't end up trading it. And so I think that's kind of what I need to work on next is like I'm doing a really good job of not trading when I don't think there's a trade. I mean, it's annoying to not trade, but also I'd rather not trade than lose a bunch of money. So I've been doing a good job of that. I think what I want to do now is not miss these opportunities like Monday that open up and look like this, where we have an order block right here, and there's a really nice entry right in here that we could have just taken to regular trading hours opening range gap high, or this right here, like this tick, this very high tick right here was the new week opening gap. Either one would have been a great take profit, and this was a great entry for the week. And I remember looking at this and being like, oh, this is a great entry, but I totally missed it. But I saw it in hindsight, like I saw it take off, and I was like, why is it reacting there? And it was just like I didn't pay attention to this order block level. And then I did that for the rest of the week, and I got really close. I mean, Tuesday I was literally watching it as it happened. I just didn't feel comfortable entering there. So that one I'm not like as confused about. That all makes sense. Wednesday I didn't trade, but then Thursday is this really great trade right here that all could have been avoided in here. There was this trade up here, which I don't think I really should have taken in the first place because it was above 8:30 and midnight. and but I didn't end up losing money on that. I was break even, like was like positive $45, and then I lost a bunch of money in here, and I gave up before it reversed right here. So like my idea for the day was correct. It was just I timed it wrong. I was forcing it off the wrong levels. So I think it's really going to be about like being more observant of what we're looking at, really looking at like the bigger picture in terms of really those high time frame order blocks that I've been looking at in their confluence with other levels. I think is going to be a huge one for me. I think if I can get that together, that'll be game changing, and we can get back to where we were a couple weeks ago. We were making like $1,000 a week on well, like a couple micros. So, um, yeah, it's kind of it for me. I'm gonna go and get some sleep because I don't feel great. I've been super tired, and it's a much later night than I intended it to be. So, I hope you all are doing well. I hope you all had a fantastic week, and I will see you all. I may post something this weekend. I haven't really decided. I may post something as far as coding goes, or uh, some other focus. But as of right now, I don't have anything planned, so we'll see how it goes. Probably just lots of studying. So uh, I'll post on X, and you guys will be able to see if I post a new video. But that's it for me. Hope you all are safe, enjoying yourselves, enjoy the weekend, and yeah, I will see you all Monday or maybe sometime this weekend. Have a good one, guys.